We are here today with Chris Kellogg. He is from Nightingale, New Jersey, Eldercare Navigators. Today we're going to find out, what does a care manager do? What is a care manager? A lot of you probably don't know the services available to you. Chris, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you so much for the opportunity, and I love your studio.
Thank you, thank you. So Chris, we are going to talk about your company and the services that you provide. So tell me a little bit about your company.
Kelly McNamara and I, my business partner, started NightingaleNJ Eldercare Navigators so that there was a resource. NightingaleNJ Eldercare Navigators help older adults and those loved ones in their circle of influence navigate the transitions of aging. We're licensed healthcare providers, specialists in geriatrics that are familiar with all local resources. We act as their advocate, guide, and expert. Our mission is to make sure that every elder has their voice be heard, their values honored, so they have their power, control, dignity, and peace of mind throughout the aging process.
That's amazing. So how does one know when they need a care manager?
When does somebody consider themselves old? Trick question. No one ever does. We need to be able to make sure that if there is a change of status, it's not, oh my gosh, what do we do now? Or our loved ones, what do they think we want, they want for themselves? It's important to be able to have as much of a mature life plan in place. So we limit that risk of what do we do to we're on a different path. We advocate for having that mature life plan so that we have the optimal, possible, and problematic approach played out throughout the aging process. So there's no surprises.
Are there different qualifications? Are there certifications for one to be a care manager?
So to be a part of ELCA, which is a group that we belong to, the Aging Life Care Association, everyone needs to be a licensed provider. Then there's above ethics, and then there's additional tests involved. One of the most important things is that, much like there's financial fiduciaries, they do not take any outside benefits or reimbursement. All of the recommendations that is made through a care manager should be unbiased. What we do is, once we make a recommendation after finding out what's most important with the elders that we serve, we make those recommendations and we stay on to make sure what's being promised is being delivered. What we do with NightingaleNJ is we don't speak for the elders that we serve. We amplify their voice. So again, they have their power, control, dignity, and peace of mind throughout the aging process. We give a homework assignment on a single piece of paper. What is their single definition of their quality of life? What gives them joy? Make sure that they get up in the morning when it's cold and raw and all you want to do is maybe pull up the blanket and roll over. That's kind of hard to be able to write that down in one sentence. But on that other side of that piece of paper, I ask, what keeps you up at night? What don't you want to have happen? That starts a spark, and people are able to oftentimes clearly say, this is what I don't want. That homework assignment gives us the bookmark to be able to optimize the likelihood and limit the risk of what they don't want. Wishing isn't going to get where they want to go. You need to have, again, a plan. We work for the elders that we serve, but we're able to, we can't make them do things that they don't want to do, but we help them come up with that plan so they have their power, control, dignity, and peace of mind throughout the aging process.
So when you do meet with the family and you're putting a care plan together, what does that look like?
Everybody's on their independent journey. We've learned that sometimes we share similar paths. We do home safety assessments. We can go to doctor's appointments with people. We help them understand what is said, what it means, how does that apply now and in the future, not just to themselves, but everyone in their circle of influence. So everyone has the same perspective. We go to the emergency room if there's a change of status. When somebody brings us on board, they're never alone. You can't beat the system, but you need to have someone that knows the system to make the system work for you. And that's one of the things that we do.
Chris, do your company or does a care manager work with other professionals in other services and that's how you put it all together?
Absolutely. We find out what's most important to the elders that we serve. We make those recommendations, whether it be um, having home modifications, bringing in outside services like home health aides. I've been doing this for well over 25 years. When somebody needs help at home, I reach out to partners in care. I don't want to hear, well, she's a lovely person or he's a lovely person. What I want to do is make sure we limit that risk of as much on-the-job training as possible, because that person that goes into their house, whether you're a navigator or a home health aide or a physical therapist, occupational therapist, at-home doctor, we're guests in that house. We need to be able to fit into their routine by being a wordsmith, making things be as palatable as possible. We're able to generate what's most important to them.
I see. This is a great service that you do offer. How does one pay for this? How does one fund this service?
Much like attorneys, it's private pay. We work on an hourly rate and bill into 15-minute intervals. Medicare, Medicaid does not, but some long-term care insurances pay for that. There's a lot of different types of long-term care insurances. We would bill the family and then we would help them make sure that it's submitted to the vendor so they can be reimbursed.
So if you had an opportunity to give someone a great advice as a care manager, what would that be?
I say a pearl of wisdom is hope for the best, but plan for the worst. So that, again, sometimes the biggest gift that we can have is help people understand what's most important to us. Being able to stop saying the word you, with the exception of I love you and thank you. Being able to say I am concerned. Being able to have it be so that the older adult maintains their dignity and their natural role. What we can do is act as that communication conduit so that that adult child comes in, can talk about the grandchildren, not have to worry about medication management, not seeing changes, not having to schedule time away from work so they can go to doctor's appointments. We maintain that role so again, the elders that we serve have their power, control, dignity, and peace of mind throughout the aging process.
As you can see, there are a lot of different components to this amazing service that Nightingale New Jersey Eldercare Navigators provides. If you would like more information, please check our directory in the Modern Aging Show. We will be back after these messages.